Welcome in, everybody.
Welcome on back to the
Talk Anime.
podcast.
We're your hosts,
Justin,
Jared,
We're
and
here
today
to talk about
the
top 30 anime of the decade. This is a self-made list. This is not based off of any website. This is not based off of any factual content. This is just what Jared and I, we've watched through the last decade, anime that we've watched through the last decade, and we were like, yeah, top 30.
Yeah.
Definitely this belongs. Like, just, it's all based off of feel, so if you disagree with us, that's okay. But, you know, if you feel strongly about it, comment on one of our YouTube videos, or, you know, we're going to be coming up with some social medias here shortly, so maybe you can comment on...
Oh, yeah, you can tweet at us.
Yeah, you can tweet at us. What's our tweeter handle?
Tweeter handle?
Yeah, what's that tweeter?
TalkAnimePod.
At TalkAnimePod.
Yeah, real simple.
That's all one word. TalkAnimePod. So go ahead and tweet at us what your top choices would be, or what we left off that you think should be on there.
Now, disclaimer, we did go through about 100 shows that we have seen all the way through, for the most part. And we narrowed it down to 30 shows that we think are the best shows of the past decade. Now, that doesn't mean that we've seen everything, obviously, because...
You'd be hard-pressed to do that.
Yeah.
You'd be living in your mother's basement.
There's many good shows, I'm sure, that neither of us have seen.
Yeah.
That could be your favorite show that didn't make our list.
Yeah, which is, like I said, just tweet at us what you think your favorites are.
We'd love to hear.
Of the decade. Of the decade.
So 2010 to 2019.
2019, that's correct. So anything that... and that includes... So there are several shows that are, like, long-running that ended in this decade, that started in the previous decade. And we're going to have a podcast for that. So for the 2000s.
At some point.
At some point.
Actually, might be the next podcast that you hear after this one. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Not sure what we want to do next, but...
but
I'd say let's
get right on into it.
Let's get into this. And now this list isn't in any order specifically, because good God, I do not think we would have been able to do that.
It's impossible. We would have been here for like 3 days just arguing over.
These are just 30 shows that we thought were the 30 best over the last 10 years.
Yep.
And kicking it off, Overlord.
God.
So I know a lot of people have issues with the pacing of the show, that not a ton happens in 3 seasons. But I love it.
No, I don't.
Lizard sex and all, I love it.
Lizard sex and all. It's a great show. I don't know. I don't understand. The whole.
And I should say, spoilers are probably going to happen in this podcast.
Yeah, spoilers are going to happen in this one. So if you hear something that you might want to watch, maybe
skip ahead probably 2 minutes or so, and we'll be on to another show.
Probably. All right. So,
but Overlord. It's an isekai.
Yeah.
Dude gets trapped in a video game.
Yep.
And he's his overpowered video game character from that video game.
Yeah. So basically, so what I like about this show is that it doesn't really center around. It does kind of focus on he's stuck in a video game, but he's in no rush to try and get out of the video game.
No, he really doesn't care.
He does not care at all. There is nobody care. He does not care.
And
he does not care.
He's not a good guy.
No. Oh God, no.
He's like,
no.
So your main protagonist is a villain, essentially.
Yeah,
he does some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, he does all kinds of crazy
stuff.
And
all sorts of murder.
Because all the NPC characters that he and his guild built over the course of many years that they were playing in this game, they convince him to be evil. He doesn't want to be evil at the beginning, and then they just straight up are like, well, I just love it because like they're just like, no, you deserve to be the best. You should be the best. Let us make you the best. And it's so hilarious to just watch him just turn on it and just be like, yup, I'm evil now. We're just gonna gonna take over the world.
My favorite thing, or favorite 2 things in the whole show, is the one time the adventurers break in.
Yes, break in
to his
his castle.
His essentially was a castle, and just all the different ways they die.
It's horrifying.
Yeah,
but it's so good
because the fact that what's his name refers to people as just cattle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like he has like a farm, and it's actually like a people farm.
It's literally a people farm. Yeah. Oh my god. I forget.
Or when Ainz in the 3rd season.
I love Ainz.
And this show is not finished. They put out seasons really quickly from 2 to 3.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking is probably the reason they haven't done season 4 is they need more source material to catch up.
I imagine probably next year it's coming. They already said they're up for another season, so they're definitely making another one. I imagine it's probably going to be next year because what was it last year was season 3? Was 2019 or was it 2018? Okay, so it's been 2 years, so I imagine they're probably going to put another season out here shortly.
That wouldn't surprise me. But my favorite thing is when Ainz sacrifices all of the enemies to summon these creatures to kill more of them. And then the whole like force that was kind of iffy with allying with them was kind of like, oh.
It's such a good show. I highly recommend it. The second that you start watching it, like literally the opening song is just amazing.
The opening for season 3 is the best opening. Though.
Yes.
It is so good.
Wait, which one was it?
Season 3.
I'm trying to remember which one that was.
That's one where it's like, I am very,
Oh, is that season 3? I thought that was season 1.
That's season 3.
Okay, well, okay. But even still, seasons 1 and 2 openers are going to be great. You're going to love them. Season 3's opener is so kick-ass that I listen to it all the dang time.
I have it on a playlist.
So good.
That I listen to when I play video games.
Oh my god, I can't... whenever I'm like doing it, like if I'm gonna go work out or whatever.
Oh, it's a great workout song.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's just so like I listen to it on repeat sometimes whenever I'm working out, just because it's just like it
gets you hyped.
It's so hype. It's the hype song. It is so good. I can't say enough about it. All right. We can talk forever about Overlord if we really wanted to. Like we're already at like 7 minutes, and
this is gonna be a long podcast. But this is gonna be a long one.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Next on our list,
My Hero Academia. That's an obvious.
Like, I feel like that's a given. If you like shonen, then this has to be on your shonen.
It's the
for
shonen.
This decade.
Yeah, it's the shonen. Well,
so it's weird for this decade because you have shows like Naruto is finished.
Yep.
Did Bleach finish this decade?
It did.
Yeah, Bleach finished this decade.
Yes, it did.
So 2 of the big 3 finished this decade. 2 of your
big 3, and the
One Piece is still going.
And it's always going to be going. Like the people, our listeners that are like 16 and over, they're going to be like in their 30s by the time maybe it ends. Like
to put this into perspective,
One Piece
started in 1999.
Yeah, it already spans 3 decades. You and
10 years old.
You were 10. I was 8, I think. No.
7 or 6?
6 years old. 6 years old when this show started. Yeah, because I was 93, so 6.
And I'm 30 now.
I was 6, and I'm 26. So it has spanned 3 decades.
Yeah.
Like, and the creator has said that he has enough content to last for another 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, which is insane to me. But this is not about One Piece. This is about My Hero Academia.
Right, this is about My Hero Academia. So this show is interesting because it just picks up right in that sweet spot about where Shippuden ends and Bleach ended. Bleach ended well before Shippuden. But then
this kind of filled that void of like a shonen that was needed to be filled.
Yeah, that needed, like...
Because it came out before Black Clover, and Black Clover had a very rough start to it.
It did. It really did. And I'm a guy that... I love shonen, and even I was like, good lord, Black Clover. Wow. I've heard that it's gotten better, so I'm probably going to go back to it and watch it. But, like, oh my god, like, the first 20 episodes, I was just like...
Dang it, Justin! We're talking about My Hero.
I know. All right. I know. I'm just
okay. So My Hero. It's a world filled with what they call quirks.
Picture Sky High, the Disney movie Sky High.
But anime.
And you basically got My Hero Academia. That's the best way I could describe this show. It's so good. Everybody has their own quirk, right? And so the main character supposedly is quirkless. I've read a few online things where we'll get it that could be spoilers. We'll get into that maybe later on a separate episode. But anyway, so the main character Midoriya, Itsuki Midoriya, he does not have a quirk. Yeah, he does not have a quirk, right? And so that's a big deal in this world where I think it's like 85% of the world, I think,
has quirks. It's some ridiculous amount.
Yeah, I think it's 85%. So he's part of the 15% that does not have a quirk. And
who idolizes the number one hero, All Might.
Idolizes the number one hero, All Might, who is badass in every kind of way. Basically, if you could picture a combination of Batman and Superman, you basically have All Might.
I'd say more Superman.
Oh yeah, no, definitely leaning more towards Superman. I'm meaning like whenever he's not.
Yeah.
Like when he's
I would
outside.
say like if you want to lean towards like Batman, I'd be like maybe like Eraserhead or something.
Yeah, I would say Eraserhead is definitely more like Batman. But
I feel like we don't need to go too in depth with
we won't get into too depth
because I feel like a lot of people have already watch it.
It's just more for the people that don't watch anime that are gonna maybe listen to this. So honestly, I would recommend it. It's great. There's so many like the animation for it is solid almost throughout the entire
It's really good.
anime.
I think my only gripe with it I feel like the fight scenes could be better animated. There's a few that are really good animated, like this previous one with like the fight between Midori and Overhaul was pretty good.
Overhaul was really good. I mean, yeah, there are some...
But I don't feel like it's amazing
but it doesn't
animation.
Dip. But it doesn't dip.
No, it doesn't dip. It's consistent with how it is, but I do wish that the fight scenes would be
a little bit
smoother.
More. Yeah, I could agree to that. I can agree with that. But I think for the most part...
Which is essentially my only complaint with the show ever. I've had that complaint since the beginning. With it.
I think if I had to make a complaint about this show is that sometimes whenever they get done with a major plot arc is they take too long to get started with the next one. Which
I'm curious if that's going to happen with the season that's still currently airing now.
It kind of is.
Well, the last 3 episodes have been.
Yeah.
Or 2, actually really just 2 episodes, because it was still fallout from the Overhaul fight before that.
Right.
And now they're going into like a festival thing?
Yeah.
Which we haven't gotten any closure with the League of Villains this season yet, so I feel like something still has to pop up with that.
Right. So we don't want to get into too much with this. This is obviously supposed to be just a top whatever list, so we're going to move on here. So next one is one that I've never seen, but Jared recommends highly, and it's called Angel Beats.
Oh, Angel Beats is so good. So this is one, it has creeped down slightly on my all-time favorites list. I mean, obviously that's just going to happen as you get older and your tastes slightly change. But this is still a damn good show. I've probably watched it all the way through 7 or 8 times at least, because it's only like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
2 or 3 OVAs. But for anybody that has seen Angel Beats, you know it's excellent. You get great comedy. You get like just smacked in the fucking face with feels at the end.
Okay.
Oh. And there's good music in it as well.
Okay.
The opening song I feel like is pretty much iconic for anime opening songs. It just starts out like piano and this goes into it. And for anyone who wants like a quick synopsis, everybody in the show is dead. It takes place in the a place like in between the afterlife and death. They're like in this limbo, which takes place as like a high school.
Okay. And
it's all about them like coming to grips with how that they're dead and just kind of moving on.
Okay.
And it's fantastic.
Okay.
Next we've got one that Justin has seen, and I have fallen under the Amazon.
It's on Amazon, so we forget about it.
Amazon has anime. I forget sometimes.
Yeah.
So, Babylon.
So Babylon. This one was surprisingly good, and I really liked it. I actually need to finish it. I've watched most of the first season now. So Babylon, the synopsis is, in a newly formed Shinki district of Tokyo, Zen Sezaki, is a diligent public prosecutor at the Tokyo District Public Prosecutor's Office assigned to a case involving false advertisement. Zen, along with his assistant officer, Asudiko Fumio, investigate Japan Superi, a pharmaceutical company that had provided fabricated clinical research on the company's new drug. While investigating the file of Shin Inaba, an anesthesiologist connected to the crime, the case takes a dark turn when Zen finds a page stained with a mixture of blood, hair, and skin along with the letter F scribbled along the sheet. As he investigates further, the case goes beyond Zen's imagination and becomes vastly complex, challenging his sense of justice and his knowledge of the truth. Digging deeper into the investigation, Zen begins to uncover a concealed plot behind the ongoing mayoral election and ties to many people of interest involved in the election and those closer than he thinks. This case grows more severe and propels Zen into an unforeseen hurricane of corruption and deceit behind the election, the establishment of the Shinki district, and the mysterious woman associated with it all. This show is boss. I love this show. It's very well animated. It's dark. I love a good mystery. And this show has mystery. It drips mystery. It's so good. I honestly cannot praise this show enough for Babylon. It's amazing. I've never even heard of this studio. It comes from Studio Revo Root.
What else have they done?
I don't know.
I'm just curious.
Hang on. Sorry for the pause, y'all. So they've basically done nothing. They've done Deep Blue Song and FLCL
Fooly Cooley Alternative.
Fooly Cooley Alternative.
Which was not the good Fooly Cooley.
Right. So this show just comes literally out of the blue from a studio that basically has done nothing. And this show is amazing. I highly recommend it. It covers so many different, just moralities, in terms of I don't want to spoil what the big mystery is, because I just want you to go watch this show. It's amazing. I can't speak it enough. It's on Amazon. If you have Amazon Prime, you can watch it for free. It's amazing. Go watch it. First season, I think, just finished. I think it's 8 episodes, and they're 30, 45 minutes apiece. Go watch it. Babylon. Next.
I've heard nothing but amazing things from a few other podcasts that I listened to.
It's really good.
Where they were this is probably the best anime of the year.
Yeah, I would say
for 2019.
2019, I would be shocked if it does not.
And the only reason they didn't put it on there is I think the last few episodes dipped into 2020.
Yeah,
but we're still counting it.
Yeah, I would still say it counts, and I love it. I can't say enough about it. Go watch it. Next, Agretzko. So this is one that I recommended again that Jared has not seen.
So we literally just watched the first episode of it to show it to me.
Well, so I've seen all 2 seasons and the movie. Jared, I showed him just the first episode. So it's a short. It's I think the episodes are 10 or 15 minutes a piece. It's on Netflix. So there's that, it kind of sucks because, how Netflix is with anime.
Truth.
They take their time with releasing it, and sometimes that decreases the fanfare around it. But Agretzko is amazing. So Agretzko is just a slice of life comedy show. It follows, so all the characters are animals. Agretzko is a red panda, I believe. And it's animated, of course. But, so
not to cut you off there, but
go ahead.
I thought the animation was really unique. It had a real 2D, hand drawn, kind of big, thick border bars with it. It's not your super realistic, lifelike animation. And
it's not supposed to be. It's
like
a. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's like a kid in school drew it, but a little bit better.
But
I like it.
But what's nice about it is that it's so the concepts that they touch upon are so relatable. It's literally the concept of it is Retsuko works in an office. She's a female that works in an office, and it's just her going through life encountering young adult problems. So just millennial problems, I would say. So she's technically my age whenever she starts working. So she's 25 on the first episode. And so it's her going through life and encountering, really crappy bosses, sketchy coworkers. She's trying to understand, love, like what real love is. She's trying to understand what a real, like, friend is. And there's just all kinds of relatable topics that they touch upon. And I just love it. And they do it all in, like, short order. Like, these episodes are easy to find and easy to watch. Like, you don't need to, like, sit there forever and watch it. They're very short. So I highly recommend it. It's a great TV show for anybody that is, just starting their first job or starting to live on their own kind of thing. Very well done. The acting, like the actors are not big name at all. I would say,
Well, for voice acting, they are.
For voice acting,
they
are?
It was dubbed, or at least the dub of it. The English dub was done in California, so it's a pretty high profile.
Okay, never mind.
Voice actors for anime.
Okay, then I take that back then.
But if you've heard any anime dubbed from California, then you'll know these voices.
Okay, then I take that back. But it's still, it's just a good show. I highly recommend it. It's on Netflix. Go watch it. All right. Next is one that we can both say we've watched. And
Megalobox.
Oh, so good. It's so good. So Megalobox is amazing. And it's just it's so interesting because it touches on a couple of different things. It touches on and it could be like an anime like sport.
Yeah, it's boxing.
Show. It's boxing, but it also meets this weird intersection of
it gave me Cowboy Bebop vibes,
like a tech, sort of like
the art style and the music.
It reminds me of a classic '90s anime, which is why I think it was so big when it came out, because they, rather than go for the big CGI animation, the creators kind of dumbed it down.
Yeah.
And made it more of a classic 90s kind of looking show in terms of the styling, which is amazing, by the way. I know that a lot of people complained about this show's animation dipping at crucial points, but honestly, like, I as someone that isn't like a big like anime buff, like I'll never claim to be an anime buff. As someone that's just an everyday guy just watching cartoons, I would say that it's pretty consistent throughout. I don't think that if there is a dip, I would say it must be minimal because I don't see it at all. I just don't.
No, I didn't really notice an animation dip at all in it. And it has that like kind of old school and like not late 90s, early 2000s kind of look to it. But with like a late 20, what was it, 17, 18?
Yeah.
Like feel?
I think it's 2018.
So it was still very polished.
Yeah.
It didn't look like it was limited because of this art style. But like, it has a great story. You have Joe, who's just...
He's just
a
awesome.
badass boxer.
Yeah, so the idea is that there's the quote unquote cultured world, which is everybody that lives inside of the city.
Yeah.
And then outside of the city is like your vagabonds, basically. Everybody that's just like outside of society, that just like does not want to be involved at all. And so there's this thing called Megalobox, which is in society, in the city, is a very highly regulated, everybody's got, you got to be somebody in order to compete in the biggest
they had
tournaments.
like ID cards,
right? Yeah, you have an ID card, right? And so but outside of the world, it's not regulated. There's all kinds of gambling and betting that goes on.
Yeah. And they use I forget what the contraptions are to help them box.
Yeah, I can't remember what the name of the contraptions
there's all sorts of different models.
They use gear. I think it's just called gear. I think it's called a gear. Boxing gear.
But it's these like mechanical things.
Yeah, it's just these mechanical arms basically that help enhance punching.
Yeah. And kind of the gimmick of like a tournament arc of it is that Joe's breaks at one point.
Yeah.
And then he just doesn't use it.
Yeah.
And that's like his gimmick to the fight because
he's just
like
a normal
it doesn't
dude
give
now.
him like predictive movements.
Yeah, it doesn't predict movements. It doesn't enhance his punches or anything. He's just a normal boxer now.
Yeah.
So he's a normal boxer going against
all these enhanced boxers.
Yeah, so it's basically like saying he's going against basically people that are all roided up and steroid.
Essentially. And then you have like the main person he's going to try to box, Yuri.
Yeah.
Who has like this ridiculously high tech one, but then
it's built in. He had so Yuri his entire mechanical gear has actually been fused onto his body. Like it's a whole big like experiment that whatever company that he's representing actually is like they're experimenting on him basically, and so he is supposed to be the perfect fighter. And so then what ends up happening by the end of it, there's just all kinds of like character development. All the characters are great. I love all of them. Like it's a great show. I don't really have any real complaints about this show.
No, I thought it was one of the better shows that I had seen in quite a while when it had first come out.
Yeah, the soundtrack is great. I love all the music in it. It's all good. I mean, I don't know about you, Jared, but I mean, I would say definitely like this has to be one of the it definitely belongs on this list, and it could be one of the best ones of like I don't know, without a doubt. I don't know.
It was really damn good. Yeah, it's probably one of the better ones on the list for like.
I would say it's definitely one of the better
in its
ones
own
on this list.
like closed box. I would say because it was the story. It started, it finished, it ended in a good spot. I know they've announced another season.
Yeah, and they didn't rush it, which is something that I love when an anime actually,
Oh, and there's really good music.
Yeah, that's what I said.
The music
is amazing. It's just it's just a very well done anime. There's nothing wrong with it. There's not much that I could say that's wrong with it.
I didn't really have any complaints at all that I could think of.
I mean, anyway, but we're gonna move on here. So, Jared, tell us about this next one that you've got here.
Well, this one is Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, and I know what you're thinking if you haven't seen the show. What the hell? Yeah,
it very much is a what the hell is this kind of anime, because literally the featured art is just some gal that's dressed up basically like a Playboy bunny.
Yeah, and that's honestly like how the show pretty much starts. Is you're with your main character, and he's just in a library, and then he sees this girl dressed in that outfit, but nobody else is reacting to her.
Okay.
And that's kind of how it happens, and it's because nobody else can see her.
Oh, okay.
Because of this thing, there's a whole thing in the show called puberty syndrome.
Okay.
Stay with me.
Okay. Continue.
And so her issue with that is like she's this younger, like still in high school, like but grew up was on TV and stuff, and then was taking a break. And while taking the break, people start forgetting about her because of the puberty syndrome, which causes different effects for different people.
Okay.
And so since people start forgetting about her, they couldn't see her.
Okay.
And so he can see her, and then it's more of like so it's with your main character. He helps a bunch of different people who are suffering from this throughout the show.
Okay.
And then it's him and her. Him and the bunny girl, which is May or Mai. They start dating, and it's really what's special about the show is just their dialogue between the characters.
Okay.
It's so hard to explain.
Mm-hmm.
But it just feels like there's just like a amazing natural chemistry, how they play off of each other, how they're snarky with each other, or make different comments to each other. And it's really a show where when this was airing, I believe in the fall 2018.
It's 2018.
Me and my other friend, Clayton, were like, I don't know about this show.
That's how I feel.
We started watching it and instantly hooked.
Okay.
Loved it.
Okay.
Couldn't wait for the next episode each week.
Okay.
It reminded us of the Monogatari series, if anybody has seen any of those, with the dialogue between characters, because it was just extremely well written.
Okay.
And the main two characters are just incredible.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Again, this one was one that we talked about last episode, but Jared brought it up again on this list.
Came out this past decade.
It did come out this past decade, so Steins Gate. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure everything that we could say about this show we said in the last episode.
Yeah, so this will be brief. Steins Gate is just an incredible emotional journey with time travel.
Yep.
And it is... It's got to be one of the best shows of not just this decade, all time.
Okay.
Well,
I mean, if it was on that last list, I mean...
It's one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Yeah, it must be
incredible.
A damn good show.
Awesome time travel. So it gives you some sci-fi elements with like slightly dystopian tunes to it.
Okay.
It's an excellent show. Anybody who has watched it knows it deserves to be on this list easily.
All right. Well, there you go. Steins Gate. Go watch it.
Then we have one of our personal favorites.
We again was an honorable mention in last episode. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Again, once again.
Oh my God! Holy shit! Jonathan Joestar.
Jonathan.
No, Joseph Joestar.
Joseph first.
Jonathan was the first one.
Yeah, well, Jonathan was the first. Then it was Joseph.
Joseph Joestar is my spirit animal in anime form.
He's hilarious. I enjoy every Joestar in every episode, every season I've watched so far.
So. I haven't finished the series yet. It's still ongoing, but it's still.
If I had to say, I would say Jonathan is better than
Jotaro.
No,
Joseph is the best.
I'm sorry, I meant Joseph is better than Jonathan.
Oh yeah,
that's what I meant.
And I think Jotaro is better than Jonathan. I think Jonathan's been the weakest, but he was the very first one.
I haven't gotten to season 3 yet, so I haven't.
He's decent so far. He's quieter.
Okay. I'll have to keep watching.
But Joseph Joestar
I'll have to keep watching.
Incredible. This show is just bonkers.
It is bonkers. It's
so
insane.
Good. It's non-stop, just action, plot moving forward from the minute you start watching it.
Yep. But it's great because you don't necessarily need to always pay attention.
No, and that's what's nice about it. Like, it's an easy show to watch.
Yes.
It's easy for people to get into.
Yeah, it's colorful.
Weird. It's very weird.
Yes, but it's very colorful.
Yes.
There's so much color in this show.
Oh, and we didn't even mention this in the last episode. The ending music and all the names of characters. It's all from, classic bands.
Yeah, always,
Speedwagon.
Speedwagon.
Number one waifu.
Speedwagon.
Best waifu. I love Speedwagon.
Yeah. But yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventures. If you haven't caught it yet, go watch it.
Oh, it's so good. It is.
I know it's like Hulu.
One of the most memed animes, and probably has one of the more polarizing fan bases. But it's worth it.
Yeah.
If you run into a JoJo's fan, you know it because that's all they'll talk about is JoJo's because it is that good.
All they're going to talk about. Yep. All right. Next. Man, this was tough. This one was a tough one.
So we debated for a little bit about what Fate show
we should
put on the list
because
there has to be a Fate show.
There has to be. There's been such a long running thing, that you just have to put a Fate on here.
And we thought it really came down to
between
Zero and Ultimate Blade Works.
Yes, and Ultimate Blade Works is good, but
the second core is
just lacking. The second half is just not.
Where Zero is just good all the way through.
It's just a solidly. Yeah, it's a solid anime from start to finish. So we went with Fate Zero. Fate Zero, and this is the thing. Fate Zero is the first Fate that I watched.
It was not for me. I saw Fate Stay Night back in the day.
So Fate Zero
is
the first one I watched, and oh my god, it's so good.
It's dope.
It's so good.
Castor is insane.
Castor
is a crazy man with
disgusting.
This crazy person. They just murder children.
They kill everybody.
Gilgamesh is the biggest douchebag anime
character. Fucking asshole. I hate
Gilgamesh. But I love Gilgamesh. He's so arrogant.
He's such a
jerk.
He's such a douche. Really, he is. And then oh jeez,
Iskandar or Alexander the Great.
Yeah, Iskandar is amazing.
He's my favorite.
He's my absolute favorite. Him
like
just
Waver,
rolling up on
yeah, Waver sucks.
Yeah, Waver sucks. But Alexander the Great is amazing. He just rolls up
in his
chariot, and he's just that's being pulled by a bull, by the way, or a pair of bulls. And he's just, oh my god, he's just
like I feel like they got Alexander so well done with how much charisma they gave that character.
Yes, and then Lancelot's amazing. She's a reoccurring fate.
Saber?
Yeah, Saber is what I meant.
You mean King Arthur?
Yeah, King Arthur.
Because they changed King Arthur to a girl.
That's right, they did. Okay.
Which Saber's pretty dope. And,
Saber.
Oh my god, who else did we even have in this?
There was Saber, there was Gilgamesh,
we had Assassin, right?
There was Assassin, yes.
Which was just a big group of assassins in Zero.
Lancelot, I think, he was the one that had the actual...
Was that Lancelot?
I believe it was Lancelot. I believe it was Lancelot that had the sword.
I was trying to remember. It's been a while since I've watched
Zero.
It's
been a while since I've watched it. I was actually trying to pull it up while we were talking about it to make sure that I got the names correct. I'm pretty sure it is Lancelot, but I don't want to stick around on this for too long. But anyway,
it's just excellent.
It's a great
It's the best out of all the Fate
If you're gonna
shows.
watch Fate Zero. It's amazing. The ending is great. They always are just one season, and it's just go watch it, please. Go watch this Fate Zero. It's so good. All right, next. One Punch!
One Punch Man. So,
I remember first watching this show and just my mind just blowing.
This is the ultimate satire of a shonen fighting show.
Oh my god, it is so good. It is so good.
So, I think we can all agree the first season is just incredible.
Yes.
The second season had such good character development.
Yeah. But there was an animation
since they changed
drop.
Studios,
Yeah.
there was a dip in the animation quality, which
killed
me because
but
it would have
Saitama
been
is
even
so
better.
funny though.
Oh yeah, so it's if you don't know One Punch Man, it's just a satire, like I said,
It's just
of fighting. It's just a guy who kills everything in one punch and is upset that he can't actually fight anybody.
Yes.
And it has such good comedy in it.
Because nobody believes that he could have such a power.
He starts out as a C tier hero.
He's a C tier hero, and
he's clearly the strongest hero in the world. It's not even close.
No, that's what's so funny is that they start him at C tier.
It's because of the written test.
And then his sidekick's an A class hero.
Oh, S class
or S class hero, and he gets blown apart every episode just about, and it's so funny. Oh my god! If you want a good laugh while enjoying some good shonen / just
making fun of shonens,
making fun of superheroes and shonens alike, just go watch One Punch Man.
It's so good.
It's so good.
And then there's so many funny heroes they create, like Moomin Rider, who just rides a bike.
Yeah, just rides a bike.
Or there's the Tank Top Tigers.
Yes.
Which in the second season we got more.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you haven't seen the second season?
No, I haven't yet.
So in the second season, there's another hero called Metal Bat. And he just beats the hell out of things with a metal bat. And he's an S-class hero. And oh my god, he's my favorite. It's so good.
Oh my god.
And you get more of the Tank Top Tigers. You get their oldest brother who's an S-class.
Oh my god. I love that.
And you get more, what was his name? Supersonic Speed.
Oh my god.
I forget his exact name, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. One Punch Man is definitely one of the most polarizing shows from this last decade.
Yeah, you're either gonna love it or you're gonna hate it, I think. But I just love this show so much.
So good.
It's so good. Go watch it, please.
Next we have Knights of Sidonia.
So this one I had to put on the list just because of how unique it was in terms of just the animation. Because they do more of a 3D CGI kind of take on it, which is why I kind of liked it at first. But then you get into what the story is behind it, and it's very good. So the synopsis is, after destroying Earth many years ago, the alien race Ghana has been pursuing the remnants of humanity, which having narrowly escaped, good lord, fled the galaxy in a number of giant seed ships. In the year 3394, Nagate Tanakazi surfaces from his lifelong seclusion deep beneath the seed ship Sidonia in search of food on the upper levels, only to find himself dragged into events unfolding without his knowledge. When the Ghana begin their assault on Sidonia, it's up to Tanakazi and the help of his fellow soldiers and friends Shizuka Hashijiro, Izana Shinatose, and Yuhata Midorikawa to defend humanity's last hope for survival and defeat their alien foes. Sidonia no Kishi, or Nisus Sidonia, follows Tanakazi as he discovers the world that has been above him his entire life and becomes the hero Sidonia needs. So this is a mecha show, basically. Everybody's got these giant battle suits, basically, or knights, I think.
Yeah, I've seen the first season.
Yeah, the first two seasons.
I haven't seen the second one.
I think there's 2 seasons. I think
there are.
I don't know if I got to the second season or not, but the first season was awesome.
I heard the second season wasn't nearly as good.
Maybe not. I don't know.
I know the first season I really liked.
Yeah, the first season I really liked. I don't know what the second season looks like. I have to go back and look at it and watch it. But it's just really good. I think, honestly, just based off of what I've seen so far, I think it's a very good anime. I don't really know if there's much that I can complain about for this anime, other than it's on Netflix. So, again, it's your typical issue with Netflix that
you don't get it for like half a year after it's already come out in Japan.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's really my biggest complaint about this is that.
I have nothing to add. It's been so long since I've seen the first season. I only watched it once.
Yeah.
But I do vividly remember me really enjoying this show.
Yeah.
Next on our list,
Psycho-Pass.
I still have only seen the first season of the show, which I thought was incredible. Even though there's been at least one movie and
another season
and another season to air, or has already aired.
It's coming, I believe. I don't know. I don't think it's aired yet. Maybe it has. I don't know. If I'm wrong, sorry. So it's basically the premise of this is that you're in the future. I believe it's the 22nd century, and basically we're at this point in society where we're able to figure out who's going to cause a crime before they even do it.
Yeah.
And so it brings up this whole ethic morality kind of deal of, if you can,
what was that Tom Cruise movie?
Yeah, I can't remember that Tom Cruise movie. Yeah, I don't remember. It's another Tom Cruise film. But anyway, the whole idea is, if you can stop a crime before it happens, would you do it? And so there's this whole morality issue that comes from it. It entertains...
Minority Report?
Yeah, Minority Report. It's basically Minority Report, but anime.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because it also approaches these things like hive mind mentalities. It comes up with, it's a very interesting story that I enjoy, and it's another sort of mystery kind of show. It's dark, but I enjoy it. It's a very, the characters are all enjoyable. It's well animated.
The gun is dope.
The Dominator. Yes, the Dominators are amazing.
It just vaporizes people, explodes them.
Yes,
it's insane.
Yeah, it's so good. It's a great show. I don't know what second season looks like. I have to go look at it. If you've seen the second season, tweet at us if you still agree that it belongs on the top 30 list. But I would say Psycho-Pass, very much.
Very good show.
Very good show.
It's been a hell of a long time since I've watched the first season, but I remember enjoying it to an nth degree.
Yeah. All right, next one is one
This is all you, bud, because I still have not seen Hunter x Hunter.
So this one again, it was on our previous episode, so I still say it belongs there as an honorable mention, but only because it's still ongoing. So Hunter x Hunter, again, it's just a great it's just a good feel-good show. Like, it approaches so many... Like, I don't think I really got into this, but it just covers so many different, like, it talks about so many different, like, coming-of-age issues. Like, you know, how to make friends. It talks about, you know, like, what your family should be like. It talks about, like, what, you know, how to handle yourself, you know, coming into your own as a human. And just like explore, like how to explore and become, you know, the person that you are. So I'm not going to talk to you forever about this, but I highly recommend Hunter x Hunter. It's so good. You're going to love every single character that you watch or that you see in this show. Like, they're all great. Hisoka is insane, and I love Hisoka. He's absolutely crazy, but I enjoy him so much.
Yeah, this is, like I mentioned in our previous episode of, like, top animes for...
Just to get started
in watching
this
anime. This is one that's been on my list on Crunchyroll, on my queue, for quite a while now. It's just kind of sitting there just to remind me to come back to it.
Well, that's the thing, is that you don't need to watch it on Crunchyroll. It's also on Hulu. It's also on Netflix. It's literally everywhere.
Yeah.
You can go watch this anywhere. You don't have
That's just my method of choice for it.
You just choose Crunchyroll. That's fine. I watched it at first on Netflix. For me, the dub is great. Mm-hmm. I love, whenever I can get a dub, I typically go with a dub. But that doesn't necessarily mean that dubs are better. I just say, you know, if I don't have to read words, then I'm a lot better off, I think, with following the story. But anyway, so highly recommend it, dubbed or subbed, whichever, you know,
whatever your preference is.
Yeah, it's a great show. Go watch it, please. It's a good show to just even get started on.
All right. One of my personal favorites.
Yeah, and this one I've never seen.
Mob Psycho 100. So this one's done by Studio Madhouse, which is done
they
pretty
made
much
Hellsing Ultimate.
Made previously on our list. They made Overlord. They made the first season of One Punch Man.
Yep.
On our list to come, there's still another show. Our next one that we'll be talking about. They made it too.
They basically
do everything that's good.
They don't do anything wrong. I don't think I could ever
not make second or third season.
Yes, except for only making one season. I think that's their biggest flaw, is that they
do an amazing job.
But... Yeah, they only do, except for Overlord in this case, they only do one season.
Yeah, Overlord was weird, where they just did like one season,
and
then it was like 2 years, or something.
And then they did another one,
and then it was like season 2, season 3.
Yeah,
nothing.
Yes. So anyway,
but Mob Psycho 100. God, this is a good show. So this was written by the same person who's writing One Punch Man. It's done this. So you have similar art styles. And it just follows a kid who's just this insanely powerful psychic, Mob, who doesn't believe he's as strong as he is. And he's just like, he's essentially just a kid that goes to school. And then he has a side job working for a fake psychic called... Regan, and it's just like follows all sorts of like quirky stuff that they do. Like, Regan's just a con artist. That's all he is. But like, you get some awesome character development in it, and since it's Madhouse, the fight scenes in it
are amazing,
are insane. I'm sure. In season 2, there's this one enemy character that can just like blink around, and my God. Like, I need to show you this scene, like, probably during our break here for our ad read. Like, just that fight scene will make you watch this show. Just the different aspects of the camera angles with everything that they had to take. And just the amount of character development you get between season 1 and season 2 is just excellent.
Okay.
It was just a damn good show.
Dope-ass show.
Right. It is. Like, it was pretty hyped up, but I don't think it gets enough love for how good it is.
I was about to say, I don't think I've really heard of it, so I can't really say, like, that it's been
it's pretty hyped up, but it's not, like, to the level of, like, One Punch Man.
Okay.
And I think Mob Psycho 100 is better, personally.
Okay.
From season to season.
Okay.
But right, well,
we're going to take a quick break here, and we'll be back with more of our Top 30.
And you'll hear from our sponsor. Hey, everybody. Jared here with today's sponsor of our podcast, Anchor.
If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's everything you need to make a podcast in one convenient place. And in fact, it's the only hosting website that we use here at Talk Anime. We love Anchor. So go ahead and download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Again, download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And now, back to the show.
And
Welcome
we're back. So,
where we last left off, we were with our 15th pick of the top 30 of the decade, Mob Psycho, and now we're moving on to number 16, which, Jared, this is one of yours.
This is the, I believe, third Madhouse show on this list, which they're excellent. No Game, No Life.
Yep.
This show, I might have a mild obsession with.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you got a pretty big heart on for this show.
I love this show. I have overhyped it. I'm not going to lie. But I really enjoy it. So it's an isekai where a brother and sister who are just like the best gaming duo of all time, and both have different strengths, get teleported, or essentially transported, however you want to put it, brought to another world where the outcome of everything is decided by games. There's no death, no killing.
Yep.
It's all games.
I think I've tried watching this show.
Now I will admit it's not for everybody.
And it's definitely not for
me. It definitely has its like tropes in it.
It's definitely not for me. I've tried. I think I got through like the first 2 episodes, and I'm just it's not for me. But I do understand that it is a good show. Obviously, it's Studio Madhouse, so I mean,
it's so good. And the art style, I absolutely love the oversaturated look.
I will say it's very colorful and very bright. I can at least appreciate that. The animation value is very good.
And I understand they made like the characters to that trope where they're overpowered isekai characters. The only thing is like this show came out like before that was like a major trope in that type of a show too. So, because this is one of the isekai shows that really got me into like that genre. And it was a million times better than Sword Art Online.
Oh God, fuck.
But
Sword Art.
No Game No Life, excellent show, excellent opening song, fun animation. You need to go into it. The expectations is no, it's not the most amazing show of all time.
No,
but yes, it's a fun ride. It's very enjoyable. It is one of my personal favorites of all time.
Yeah.
Damn it, Madhouse, give us a season 2, please. I need more than the first season of the movie.
Madhouse, just always give us a second season, please.
Give us more.
There's always a rule.
We want more.
We want more.
More. But excellent show. Just the way that like Shiro and Sora go through and like the way the writer designed it, how they win these games is just really fun.
Yeah.
And it's definitely different having a world decided by games compared to like, oh, I just got transported to a fantasy world and I'm overpowered and now I can do pretty much anything I want. Yes, they're overpowered, but they do it with like they're intellectuals essentially.
Yeah.
Which was a different take on it, which is really fun.
Yeah.
Next on our list, The Rising of the Shield Hero. So I really like this show, except the chicken girl. I cannot stand that character. I hate that character, and that's what almost left it off this list for me.
Yeah.
But everything else about the show is really good.
I wasn't going to let you keep this show off the list because, oh my God, it's everything I wanted Sword Art Online to be. Just go watch this show. It's a isekai with a twist.
Yeah, your main character is useless in combat, essentially.
Well, no, it's not even that. It's just that with the isekai, you imagine like this, all-powerful sword person that can beat everybody, and and he's good, and he's just lawfully good in everything, and just everybody likes him. and everybody loves him. And nope, not this show. Oh my god, it takes Isekai and just flips it right on its head. It's so unique. I love it because of the fact that it does this. It starts out where it's in, I think it's sort of like supposed to be, I think, sort of Japan, like at some point, kind of, yeah.
So each person they discover is taken from different timelines.
Yes, of Japan. And so they're brought into like this weird alternate universe fantasy world place. Yeah. So anyway, but they're all given like a specific weapon that they can wield. So there's the sword person, there's the bow person. I think
it's sword, bow, and lance.
Lance, and then there's the
spear.
Shield.
Oh, spear. I think is what they call them.
It's spear. And then there's the shield hero. And so everybody looks down on the shield hero because he's just got a shield. What's he gonna do? Like nothing really. But what becomes even more like on a twist on this whole show is like he gets accused of sexual assault
on the princess who was like
who actually had
willfully teamed up with him, but just wanted to use him.
But actually,
and apparently in the show as well, like the shield hero is just like a hated hero.
Yeah, he's just not. People. He's a very disliked hero,
and nobody really wanted to align themselves with him because he's considered the weakest hero.
Right, exactly. And so then he gets basically cast out from the kingdom. Like they don't want anything to do with him, and so they just kind of just say, "Get the heck out of here. We can't arrest you because you're one of the heroes." But we want nothing to do with you. And so then he gets casted out. He actually is like looked upon as like the most evil person, even though he's really not. But what ends up happening is he encounters a traitor of many things. People is one of them.
Well, animals.
No, people.
No, it's all like different animals and creatures.
Yeah, okay.
That's when you get Reptilia, the raccoon girl.
Reptilia, the raccoon girl. And oh my gosh, it's so good because like he ends up like buying her, and she's this like sickly slave person.
Yeah.
So which I know what you're thinking. Sounds a little weird.
Yeah, this guy really is sounding like a bad guy.
But he ends up like nourishing her back to health. Like she ends up like in like making her a very strong character. So she ends up being a very like strong female protagonist in the story. And you know, he does like all these really good things, but like people just take a crap on him because, well, people lied about who he actually was as a person at the beginning. And so it's interesting because it's like talking about it takes on this whole story about trying to like change people's minds about who you are as a person, as well as just like, you know, you don't necessarily have to be the strongest person like in the story in order to be, you know, the big hero. So it's very interesting. I enjoy the hell out of this show. It's so good.
It's really good. It has some really dark tones to it too.
Yes, obviously.
Where the shield hero, like there's like an evil side to his shield, and it just does like insane amount of damage.
Yes.
And it just like consumes him.
Yes.
It gets nuts. And then it does really cool things with how he uses his shield's abilities to buff his allies and then do different things.
Yeah.
It's a very good show. We're getting a second season of it this year.
Yes. Which I can't wait for.
So really looking forward to that.
Cannot wait for that.
But I really enjoyed it for the most part, except like I said, the chicken girl. I hate her character so much.
Fair, she's annoying.
And she's always like at the center of like the filler episodes.
Yeah.
Which
is annoying.
Not a fan of that character, but everything else I love about the show.
Yeah.
Especially when they're moving the plot along. It's excellent.
Yep.
Next on our list is probably a show you have never heard of for most people. At least I don't think I've seen it on any list or pretty much talked about by anybody. It's a short show, which I think it's like 26 episodes or so long.
Yep.
At about 4.5 to 5 minutes per episode.
Yep.
And it's called Senyu. And my God, this is one of the funniest shows I've ever seen in my life.
It's pretty funny.
I showed Justin here the first episode before we started this episode of the podcast.
It's pretty good. I gotta say, it's pretty funny. I mean, I don't really know what all it covers, but if it's just like...
So essentially, it's those main two characters, Hero, and then the other one, and it's just them trying to find the Demon Lord, kill the Demon Lord, or trying to find the next hero.
Okay.
And there's a lot of cool little twists in it and stuff, but it's purely a comedy.
Okay.
And it's just off the wall bonkers.
It was funny, I can say that.
And you can watch the entire show in like an hour and a half. Yeah, 2 hours.
It's really not long.
That's what we did when one of my friends showed it to me. Yeah. He showed me the first episode, and we just watched the entire show.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It's good. I recommend it.
Now this one
I recommended.
I have not seen. I've only seen the very first OVA before the series even came out.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
I felt like just set up the part of the plot.
Probably. Ancient Magus Bride. I love this show. It is so good. It is so well animated. It's by Wit Studios.
It's a good studio. It's a great studio.
The synopsis is Chisei Hattori, a 15-year-old Japanese girl, was sold for 5 million pounds at an auction to a tall, masked gentleman. Abandoned at a young age and ridiculed by her peers for her unconventional behavior, she was ready to give herself to any buyer if it meant having a place to go home to. In chains and on her way to an unknown fate, she hears whispers from robed men along her path, gossiping and complaining that such a buyer got his hands on a rare sleigh beggy. Ignoring the murmurs, the mysterious man leads the girl to a study where he reveals himself to be Elias Ainsworth, a magus. After a brief confrontation and a bit of teleportation magic, the two open their eyes to Elias's picturesque cottage in rural England, greeted by fairies and surrounded by weird and wonderful beings upon her arrival. These events mark the beginning of Chisei's story as the apprentice and supposed bride of the ancient magus. So this story is so good. Just for one, it's just a very pretty, well animated show. Like I can't stress this enough that it's just so well done in terms of just like the overall animation. It's really, really colorful. It's really, really pretty. The story itself is, it could be better, could be worse. It's not the best, but it's a solid enough story, and the characters are definitely, lovable, I would say. Like, Ainsworth he's basically, they don't really like go into too like, well, I guess they do, but he's basically, he's a mage that basically he's the result of an experiment gone wrong on himself. And so he kind of isn't really overly familiar with like the world or relationships or how they work, and he just goes and he buys this Chisei, just because he's looking for a quote unquote a bride. And so the whole thing is very interesting. It's about it goes into great detail about like what is a healthy and prosperous relationship and what is not. It touches on a lot of different concepts like abuse and toxic masculinity. It talks about a lot of actually like really like deep subjects, but it's also just a really fun anime. Like all the characters are very, for the most part, very light. The show is, I think, 2 seasons. I think maybe just 1 season that's really long.
I thought it was 1 season that was just like 24 episodes.
Maybe that. It might be that.
I'm pretty sure.
But it's really good. And I think there's also like another like ending movie as well, like OVA after that.
Quite possibly. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all.
Don't quote me on that. I don't know that for a fact. But it's just a really good show. I would highly recommend it. Ancient Magus Bride. Great show.
Next on the list is another one that I've seen like 3 episodes.
Fairy Tail. So this one, man, Fairy Tail's great.
I feel like it's kind of like that show that you either love or hate.
Yes.
And I think I shouldn't say hate. I should say you're into it or you're not.
Yeah.
And I was not. It did not capture my interest.
It's very fair. No, I mean, I can understand why people don't like it. I personally just enjoy it. I don't know why. I'm just a big, like, I like shonen, I like isekai, and this is kind of a nice, like, in the middle of both, because...
Oh, I know you're big on shonen. I mean...
Yeah.
Bleach, Naruto, Shippuden...
Yeah.
My Hero.
Big fan of it. But, this one's just kind of... I mean, it's A1 Pictures.
A1 is excellent.
So, I mean, you're not going to go
steak.
wrong there. They don't really make too big of mistakes, usually. What do you got there, Jared?
You missed my joke.
What did you say?
I said I like A1 on my steaks.
God dang it. Boy. But, yeah.
It's a great studio, too.
The main character is Natsu Dragneel. And, I don't want to go into too much just because it is such a long-running show. It's back from, like, 2014, so it spanned the majority of the decade.
Didn't it just end, too?
It literally just ended.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, it
started in this decade,
or they might be just
finishing.
They might just be finishing the last season.
I know it was, like...
This season.
I know the manga already ended.
Yeah, the manga's done. I need to watch the final season, so I don't really know. I know where they were going with the final season. I just need to actually watch the final season. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I highly recommend it. I mean, like I said, it's a shonen. It's a shonen, typical shonen. It's a good show. I enjoy all the characters. I can understand why people do not like this show, because... Yeah, there's a lot of reasons that you could not like this show. Mm-hmm. But, personally, I like it. It's on all the points
I know a ton of people do. I just didn't get into it.
Yeah, it's colorful. Characters are fun. A lot of fun story arcs. Yeah, Fairy Tail. Check it out. It's on Crunchyroll. I think it's on Netflix, where the first few seasons are.
Funimation has the dub for it.
Has the dub. Hulu has the dub. So, yeah, check it out. Fairy Tail.
Next on here...
This one was you.
Is it's a new show. It's on Amazon. Vinland Saga. It's based on Vikings.
So this one was on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there again, it goes to it's on Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Has anime.
Yes, Amazon does have anime.
They really need to work on that.
They just don't care.
They really do not. They should though.
It's just so hard. Like, there's a million streaming services, and then you have to remember, oh yeah, there's Amazon Prime streaming video. Oh yeah, they get new anime every season.
Oh yeah,
a lot of it's really
good.
Yeah. But this is just an excellent show. I think the pinnacle of it, in one of the episodes from the first half of the show, you have this gigantic Viking taking these sharpened logs, and I'm talking about like
big old
tree logs,
big old boys,
where it takes like 5 or 6 other men to carry it, and it's just him just taking a single log and just chucking one after another into the ships off this bridge.
Oh yeah.
It's great. Like, he went and he's a Viking, and his team is, because most of them are like mercenaries, or a lot of them, and he just decided to work for the other side, protecting London. Because he just wanted a challenge in a fight. So he fought his own people. He's just chucking these frickin' logs.
You. These are mine.
And that was like the pinnacle of the show for me. That was the point. Like, I really enjoyed it. Like, you have awesome characters. You have Thor in the beginning, which is he's just a badass. Just amazing fighter, and then he gets dicked over, and you have his kid Thorfinn.
As you do.
Yeah.
As one does in a Viking show.
Who is just trying to, essentially finding his way throughout the show, just getting shit on. And you have the... you have the villain or like anti-hero Akalad, who is just the best character in the whole show. Up until the end. And this is all just like...
this really just feels like a prequel to the main meat of the show, because you get Thorfinn like growing up throughout this. Yeah. And it's just, it's so good.
All right.
If you like Vikings.
I do like Vikings.
Awesome fight scenes.
Guy. Big Viking guy.
You like watching guys chuck logs off a bridge into ships.
It's dope. I guess I could do that. I could watch that.
Real good show.
All right. Well, next one is one that Jared and I, again, one of these shows that we just were not sure if we wanted to put it on this, but...
It made it on there.
Tokyo Ghoul.
So the first season, and the third season.
Great.
We don't speak of the second season.
Nope. It's sort of like how Godfather had the first two movies were really good, but we don't talk about that third movie.
What? There was a third Godfather?
There was? Was there? I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, so you're meaning it's like... So we have Indiana Jones 1 through 3, and then we don't talk about the fourth one.
There was a fourth one?
What? But
anyway, no.
This is what happens in Tokyo Ghoul, because they didn't follow any source material for the second season.
Yes.
So the second season is hot
awful
garbage.
Awful.
But besides that, the rest of it is still good enough that it made our list. It's really good.
Yeah, you really can't take I feel like any of these long running shows, like, they're gonna have lulls. Yeah. It sucks obviously whenever you have an entire season that sucks, but it's also good to see that it rebounded. So they learned from their previous mistake and made up for it.
Exactly.
So, and I think that's why I felt comfortable enough with putting it on this list. Because, yes, they sucked at one point, but now they're good again.
Oh, yeah, I completely agree.
As opposed to certain other shows that did not make this list. Attack on Titan. What?
Anybody who's listened to any of our content on previous channels would know we're not fans of Attack on Titan. And no, it's not going to be on this list.
It will not.
We do not like it.
Nope. The only list Attack on Titan will be on is biggest disappointments ever. The biggest
all time.
Yeah. Which we may even do that list, which that would probably be number one. Attack on Titan would probably be number one. Mm-hmm. There you go. Spoiler for our future episode.
It pretty much goes like this: the Cold War, Attack on Titan. It's neck and neck.
biggest blue ball of the century.
Listen, we had all this build up. We got nothing from it.
Now I gotta go take a cold shower.
Okay. But Tokyo Ghoul, excellent show. Dark show.
Very dark.
Fun fighting scenes. Violent.
Yeah, absolutely.
With interesting lulls in the violence, too.
Yeah. But a lot of, like, really good story.
Yeah.
Really interesting story, I would say. It's like... Oh, man. It's just...
the first season where he's just getting tortured at the end and then just snaps.
Yeah. And just
is incredible.
Bananas.
Yeah. And just wrecks shit.
Yes.
Excellent show.
I feel like I need to go back and rewatch it just because it's been a while. Oh, man.
Really good show.
It's just so good. Really, really good show. Watch it.
Check that one out. It's a fun one. Then we have Danmachi.
Or Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon?
So it took me a while to actually watch this show.
Yeah, and I told you, I told you to watch this show.
Because I was like, man, I don't know about that title.
I told you to watch it, and this is the thing, is that I hate shows that are like, you know, fan servicey, ecchi bullshit.
That's what it seemed like it was just going to be.
Yeah, but I was telling you, it's not like that at all. It is the exact opposite. Like, it is not... Like, yes, it does have some fan service to it.
Oh, Hestia's Bestia.
Debatable, but... Maybe future episode we do that.
She created a whole trend... Like, in Japan with the ribbon under the boobs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it became a whole trend. Jesus like, people were doing it.
People are so fucking weird, I swear. But anyway.
People are doing it over here.
I know! That's weird. I don't know. But anyway,
really good show.
Very good show. I know it sounds very odd, but it's really not. Like, it's a very good
Anybody
show.
who knows anime knows Danmachi's great.
Yeah, it's a great show. I mean, it's... Bell is awesome. Bell is the main character. He's basically like... He's an underleveled nobody, basically. But he has...
Like dungeon adventure. Everything's about going into dungeons and defeating monsters, getting loot,
cash.
And then powering up, leveling up.
Leveling up. And Bell is...
With different goddesses.
A guy that is just way in over his head, basically. Essentially. His grandfather is like, Bell, when you grow up, you need to make sure that you rescue all these women from dungeons. And that's basically what he does now.
Yeah.
He's a very cool character. Everybody involved in this show is just, all the characters are great. Like, the animation's good. It's a good show. I like Isekai. This is, I would say...
Not an Isekai at all.
It's really not.
Which is surprising from the title, because this came out when like other shows were coming out with long titles like that, that were just strictly like isekais for the most part. Yeah. Or just weird
This is definitely
shows.
not just an isekai.
Not an isekai at all, actually. It's just like an adventure.
Yeah, it's definitely more just adventure.
Fantasy-ish show.
Yeah.
It's real good. Definitely, if you haven't watched Danmachi, go check it out.
Yes, go watch it. It's very good.
Next on our list is an isekai, though.
Yeah?
Konosuba.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen this one.
It is hysterical from the moment the show begins.
The next few ones, I think, are just you.
Yeah, they are. For the most part. Until, like, number 30.
No, 29.
Or, 29, sorry. 29. But Konosuba starts with your main character just going to get a dating sim game or buy a game. He sees this girl who he thinks is going to get hit by this car or by this truck and tries to save her.
Oh, I have seen this one.
He pushes her out of the way and dies. Of like just a fear or something.
Yes.
It was this tractor coming at like 5 miles an hour that wouldn't have hit anybody.
Yes.
And he just dies.
As a matter of fact, I think it breaks like right in front of him.
Yeah, it just like stops. Yes. And he's just dead.
Yes.
And I believe he peed his pants.
Yes, he did.
So he gets brought
I do remember
to this life, brought to where this goddess is.
Yeah.
And she's gonna bring him into this other world. And he can have whatever he wants whatever he wants to help him.
Yep.
Like, he could be intelligence, it could be strength, it could be power, it could be money. And he picks her.
Yeah. Yep. He picks the goddess that is
He picks the goddess. Or the goddess, I want to say it's Aqua.
It is Aqua.
And then that just starts this hilarious adventure where she's useless for the most part. He's useless
for the most part.
He just has high luck.
Yep.
And then they just slowly just get a band of other pretty much useless people together. It's just comedy ensues.
We should mention that the others that he gains are all female.
Oh, yeah.
So it's very much one of those animes.
It's not like fan servicey really at all for the most part. It's just funny. It's just pure comedy.
Yeah.
And it's one of my favorite isekais of all time. And it is so damn funny. Like, season 1, season 2, the movie, everything is great about Konosuba.
Yeah.
Definitely check that out if you haven't.
Yeah. It's not one of my favorites, but I can certainly see why it makes a list.
Oh, yeah.
It's very well done, I think. That's all I got.
Next we have...
Anohana.
Anohana. Oh. This, by far, has to be the show that smacked me in my feels the hardest out of any anime I've ever seen.
See, I don't like that.
It's
I don't want to feel my feels.
Oh, you feel your feels, and your feels feel your feels. And they feel their feels. It's a lot. It's all feels, feeling, feels.
Do you not want it?
Unsubscribe. No! Essentially, it's all these... they're high schoolers, I want to say. It seemed like they were high school. They all used to be friends with this girl, Menma. Mm. And they're all friends. They had like their little hideout they would go to and do all sorts of little adventures. Well, she accidentally dies when they were kids. And then years later, like, your main character, like, is seeing the ghost of Menma. And she's still the, like, essentially like almost not quite the little girl version of Menma, but a little bit more grown up, but not much.
Yeah.
And it's just like him seeing her, and then it's like all of them just like, because they've all kind of gone their separate paths and have done different things. It's just like them getting back together, becoming friends again,
learning to move on from the situation, and then like learning to move on from like the death of Menma, and like people are like wondering like because it's obvious that he can see her, and then it seems like he's a little crazy, and then at a certain point they all can see her, and then it's all about like letting go of that at the end, and it's really sad ending scene. It's let it go, let it go. It's a very sad show, but good at the same time.
Okay.
Highly recommend it. There's also been like a movie.
Okay.
And all sorts of different stuff that may come out for the show. It's excellent.
All right. Well, next one.
Made in Abyss. I've been bothering Justin to watch this one for a while.
I really have.
Since
and
it came out.
I have not gotten to watch it.
Which we're getting a new movie, and they just recently announced we're getting the second season too.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's all about this world where everything is about adventuring down into this giant pit of an abyss.
So you would say it's
into the abyss, yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Continue.
Yeah, and it's about this girl, little girl. She discovers this robot boy, and it's about them adventuring into the abyss to try and find her mother, who was presumed dead.
Okay.
And it's all about their travels through the abyss and everything, and for lack of a better word, it gets real. Like, it's like there's all these creatures down there that try to kill you. Like, there's different levels of like whistles. Is how they describe like who can like go to each level.
Okay.
And the white whistles are the highest, and like once you get to a certain point of the abyss, like if you're trying to come back up through the abyss at that point, it almost kills you too, or can kill you, just from the effects of it, and it just gets worse and worse and worse the lower you get.
So it's like the 8 levels of hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's the art style. This like the characters are drawn like super cute. Like you look at the art and you're like, oh, that's a cute show. No. Do not be distracted by the cuteness.
Don't let the cuteness distract
you. It is dark.
Okay.
There's really dark elements in the final few episodes. Like,
okay.
Show is dope.
Okay.
Highly recommend that one.
All right.
And then one of my favorites for quite a few years now.
Food Wars.
So good.
I'm going to take your word on that.
Have you ever wondered, man, damn, this food was good. Did I just have a foodgasm from it? Yes, I did. Would I like to see what that was animated like? Yes, I would. Well, I have a show for you.
It's literally Food Wars.
It's Food Wars, which I think it's considered a shonen.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like tournaments and stuff in it. It's crazy. Them cooking food. Yeah, it's just following your main character around, and he's just like a sort of a, not really a prodigy, but his dad.
Don't the girls
was like,
lose their clothes if they eat?
The guys do too.
Really okay.
Yeah, they just explode off.
Okay,
in like a foodgasm. It's amazing. Like, so yes, there are like some ecchi moments to it, but it's not based around like anything ecchi at all. That just happens as a result of the food being that delicious.
Okay. Okay.
It's an excellent show. And I think the manga's just ending, and they did announce what season is this? Not 5th or 6th season that's airing this spring.
Probably season 6, I think.
I think it's 5 or 6.
I think it's 6.
And it's excellent. I love Food Wars since the very first episode I saw, but I also love food.
Yeah, I know you do. All right. Next one, 29.
28.
Or 28, excuse me. 28 on the list. Akami got killed.
This show, I really enjoyed while it was airing.
I did too.
Like, I don't think it was the best show in the world.
No.
But it was very enjoyable. It had a conclusion. I don't entirely like the conclusion, but the ride along the way was really fun.
Yeah.
It had those, like, Game of Thrones-esque, like, your main characters aren't safe. They just start dying.
It is free reign. Anybody can die.
Once one dies, that's when you start realizing, and then another dies, and you're like, it's that type of show where everybody can just die,
and it's excellent. Like, everything's based around these, like, different super weapons that you can carry. Like, your main character finally gets like this suit of armor.
Yeah. That's
just badass, and you have like Mine, who has a gun. The more danger she's in, the more powerful it is.
Yep.
And just like a Kami, she has a sword that's cursed, so if she cuts you, you're dead. And then it has like an ultimate ability as well.
Yep.
And you have a really cool villain in Esdeath.
Yeah, Esdeath
is... Actually, all the villains I thought were dope.
Yeah, but Esdeath is...
She's awesome.
Yeah.
I really liked Esdeath.
She's really cool.
Even though she's obsessed with the main character. What's his name? Tatsumi, I believe?
Yeah, Tatsumi. Yeah, I mean, it's just an overall, it's a pretty good show. It's definitely got a lot of rewatchability there that you can go back and rewatch.
Yeah, and it had a conclusion, even if it wasn't the most satisfying conclusion in the world. It was a good conclusion, I thought.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have a lot to complain about the show. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Even though most of your characters die, it's fun. It's a fun ride along the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of it's the deaths can be fucking brutal.
Brutal. Yeah, like Eddard Stark, but a lot worse than that.
Yeah. Like people being bit in half by like a dog.
Yup.
Like this gigantic dog thing that's one of the weapons, and ooh.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Which, Justin, this brings us to our
29th?
No.
30? Are we at 30?
29th.
29th. That's what I
29th
thought.
show.
I don't know what to say. I was like, we're only at 29, I thought. ReZero!
I love this show.
It's a great show.
Love this show.
Can't hate this show.
The only arc I don't enjoy that much is the princesses one, where Subaru's just like challenging the other knight, and he just feels douchey in that arc.
He's just kind of a dick.
But the more important question: who's best girl?
I don't know.
There's only one answer.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's Rem.
Yeah,
it's Rem.
Yeah, Rem.
I don't care that Subaru shut her down. It's Rem.
Rem. Yeah,
clearly best.
Gotta be Rem.
This show, I felt like it kind of flipped the isekai genre on its head to a certain degree.
Yeah, I could agree with that.
Because you get like such a different outlook on things. Like, you get to see like the pain and anguish from like Subaru constantly having to respawn and relive all these horrible situations that he's trying to correct.
Yep.
And then like ultimately fails.
Yeah.
And then has to try again. Like
it's sort of like a weird like Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Kind of feel.
But like
to
he
it.
dies.
But he
all
dies.
the time.
Yeah.
And there's so many gruesome deaths for him too. Only to come back just like mentally a wreck and have to do it all over again.
Yeah.
And it was excellent. Like, I was hooked from like the first episode.
Yeah.
Because when it first aired, they did episode 1A and 1B, so you have an hour long.
Right.
And my God, it was good.
It was.
And we get a second season finally coming this spring.
Really? Oh man, I might actually have to like go back and rewatch it because it's been a while.
They're releasing a director's cut right now.
Okay.
And it's like, I think they're like an hour long each, and they're adding a few little new little minuscule
Tiny
changes
things.
from what I've been seeing so far.
Okay.
But that'd be a fun way to rewatch it. Because you do get things where they polished it a little bit more, but it's an excellent show. You have really cool characters.
Okay. I'll have to go back and rewatch it.
Definitely one of my favorites of when it came out, and I've rewatched it probably 3 or 4 times since.
Yeah, I would say it's been a while since I've watched it, so I'll need to go back and rewatch this one. But I mean, I liked it a lot whenever I was watching it. It's a very good show, I think. And
Rem Best Girl.
Rem Best Girl. All right, last one.
Number 30.
And then, again, Jared, this was one that you wanted, so I was just
okay. Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Yes, that one.
So this one, you're only really dealing with really 5 characters throughout the show, but mainly 3.
Okay.
You have the student council president, you have the vice president, and it's mostly about those 2. So they both like each other.
Okay.
Both refuse to admit it because they think it shows weakness. And the entire show is about them trying to get the other person to admit that they have feelings.
Okay.
And it's just hilarity ensues all the way through.
Okay.
You get not even arguably, you get the best girl from that season, Chika, which is the other girl in the student council with them.
and she is just absent-minded and hilarious at times. It's just one of the best pure comedy animes I've ever seen, and we get a second season of a comedy like this spring too.
Oh,
which
okay.
I can't remember the last time I saw a show like this and even thought a second season would happen.
All right.
That's like how popular this became.
Okay. Well, there you go. All right. Well, that is our top 30 list, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope you agree with most of our choices, if not all of our choices. If you disagree,
if not, feel free to shoot us a tweet of what you think should have been on the list. We'd love to hear from you. Go to our
Discord. We have a Discord.
We do have a Discord.
Yeah, Talk Anime. TalkAnimePod.
Yes,
Discord.
in the show notes here, I'll put a link to the Discord.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's we're an up-and-coming channel, I think, at this point now.
I think so.
We're going to release podcasts every Saturday.
I'm thinking Saturday is what we want to do.
Yes, Saturday we'll release our podcasts. They'll typically be anywhere from like an hour to maybe even 2 hours tops. I think right now...
It really just depends on like what we're talking about. Like this one went a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But we're just kind of talk until we're done talking.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I think we're done talking here. So, follow us on Twitter at TalkAnimePod. Go to our Discord, which we'll leave a link in the description for our iTunes and Spotify.
It should be going up on iTunes, Spotify. You should be able to hear this on just about any podcast app.
iTunes
out
and
there.
Spotify. Follow or go and watch our YouTube channel. We put on where Jared and I play games that typically, I think we typically play really anything.
Kind of whatever we're in the mood for, and eventually I do want to get some video up and going for the podcast.
Yeah.
That's going to be down the road a little bit. Probably when get moved into a new place and that can actually have like a set spot for a studio.
Yeah.
Be able to have like some video and stuff would be fun.
Yeah, but until then, Omayomo Senduri.
Nani?
Nani?
Catch you next time.
Later, y'all.